Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
All right, welcome to the KBJ After the Show podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show podcast.
Hello and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast for Wednesday.
Wednesday, it's hump day.
Yes, it is. It's National Sandwich Day as
Yes.
well. Yeah.
Celebrate by cleaning out a closet. Fucking awesome.
Or humping a sandwich.
That will be awesome.
A lot of suggestions on the KVJ Show Facebook page and Instagram. You can go and see people putting on their favorite sandwiches, and maybe from that we can get ourselves a little bit of a poll as to what our favorite sandwich is. But the whole thing that's really tough about even doing a poll on this is I'm looking. There's just so many different kinds of sandwiches. The poll would be 800 options.
And there's too much confusion on what people think is a sandwich. Even when we were talking about at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Son of a bitches were arguing left and right. Sweet
Yeah.
Jenny's getting death threats again.
I actually could see why it wound up in court, because somebody probably tried to, qualify something as a sandwich. Somebody said, no, it's not, and they sued them. And yeah, there was a Boston court. They ruled that if it's two pieces of bread separated with something in between, that's a sandwich. And so that you'd throw a lot of things in there, from subs to hamburgers, patty melts, all that stuff would be a variety of a sandwich.
I think I'm going to do a little grilled cheese party today. We've been talking about it. I want to get the nice spread.
You deserve it.
Thank you. I'm going to
Spread 'em.
spread it.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of different suggestions on there. See a lot of mentions for Las Spadas on there, the Monster, the turkey, even from there. People were mentioning that.
Yeah, that Las Spadas monster is no joke.
Yeah, it's good.
I can't believe it.
La Spadas is fun. They throw the meat into the bun or the bread.
Is there a top on? I'm trying to remember. Is there a top, or is it only a bottom on the Las Spadas Monster?
It's a sub.
It is.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's a top
and bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. It's been a little while since I had one. I've been no carb for so long.
I know. I try to really stay away from carbs, so I don't delve into the sandwiches or the po' boys or the subs. I just don't do them that often.
La Spadas has very good HMS, honey mustard sauce.
Okay.
Very good. You want to dip that thing in there.
Yeah.
Dip it.
Your endorsement matters.
Well, again, what's with all the nice compliments? You see me struggling with that closet and you feel bad for me.
I see you struggling today.
Other mentions: Firehouse Subs, Chicken Frontega Panini from Panera, so Russo's getting some love, so all those kind of things. If you love talking sandwiches, you'll love that. Got an email here, too, from Mandy. Said the best sandwich I've had is the Elvis from American Icon Brewery in Vero Beach. It's sourdough bread with the cheddar cheese and smoked Gouda, with sweet glazed thick bacon slices and sliced tomato.
Your boy is a huge sliced Gouda fan. Smoked Gouda is my cut right now. I am eating the fuck out of some smoked Gouda. That's why you might see a little bigger titties this month.
Gouda boobs.
Yeah, I got them Gouda titties.
Also got some emails about Pounders. Denny's was telling a story about getting blackout drunk there back in the day. It's a bar in Orlando. They do have some good dive bars in Orlando. Been to a few. Did karaoke there one time. They turned off the karaoke when I took off my shirt on stage. Yeah, that just got away from me. But, yeah, Orlando's got some great places. And Natalie said, Pounder is such a great bar. The name says it all. Every time I went there, it always ended up as one crazy-ass night. One night at Pounder's, I was being, quote-unquote, healthy and decided to stay away from beer. So instead, I had shots of Cuervo. I know.
I've told myself the same thing.
I know, but I understand I was a college student at the time, a young liver's game. The bartender at Pounders didn't blink an eye as they served me and my friends at least 12 rounds of shots. I say at least because I lost count after the 12th. To this day, there's a debate on how many shots we actually had. I woke up in my closet that night. Another night after Pounders, I woke up in a pitch black room with a cold tile floor and some guy banging on the door yelling, "Are you okay? I'm coming in."
Oh, no.
I started freaking out trying to piece together where I was and if I had my clothes on. It turns out I blacked out at Pounders, got taken home by my roommates, and locked myself in my own bathroom. The guy knocking on the door was a roommate's boyfriend, ready to break down the door because I never came out of the bathroom and I wasn't responding.
Oh, boy.
They thought I was dead. So, yes, Pounders was a very memorable/forgettable bar.
Mr. J says, inexperienced drinkers much? I don't know, dog. I've seen some veterans fall off the fucking tracks.
Shots.
Looking at you, Virginia.
Shots, bruh.
In fact, Virginia had 2 of her worst performances within 2 months.
Yeah.
You could argue that.
During COVID.
You had the dark horse or
Crazy horse.
Crazy horse. It turned dark. And then Bigfoot's wedding where you were taking out both. That ain't like our girl.
Shots, bruh. Mm-hmm. That is not me.
You are definitely an experienced drinker.
I'm embarrassed about my performance on both of those occasions.
Yeah, you should be.
I thought I was better than that.
Megan from Wellington said, I sent Virginia a video of my Buc-ee's experience. You guys need to see it to believe it.
I saw that video. Yeah, we got that on our DMs, I believe.
Yeah, she said that I went to one in Daytona on my way up to North Carolina because I heard Virginia raving about it. I spent way more money and time there than I intended to, but so worth it.
Yeah, you sold me, too. You're getting all hot and bothered for old Buc-ee's. It stood out.
I thought Buc-ee's is coming to Palm Beach County. I don't know. I'm getting conflicting reports because everything I read said they were building a Buc-ee's, and the street intersection was PGA and 95. But now people are telling me that this is the Daytona location because in Daytona, there is a street called LPGA.
Okay, yeah.
And 95.
Okay.
And that's actually where the Buc-ee's is.
Okay.
But there might not be plans yet for a Palm Beach County Buc-ee's, and that is sad.
So basically, we should go buck ourselves, is what you're telling us.
I want to hold hope, but I don't know.
Okay.
Hope sometimes is all a person has, my friends.
This is an interesting story that Chrissy sent us. She said, I heard you guys talking on the podcast yesterday about how police officers will commonly live out of the area in which they work to avoid a situation where someone they pull over knows where they live or other awkward situations that could come about from working in the same area where you live. Well, this made me think of a story. Our previous next-door neighbors were a married couple, both cops for the county in which we live. They were nice people, but the husband had an actual flat top, and the wife did not, but you could tell she wanted to. She had the flat top attitude.
If she could have, she would have.
Such a funny line.
They lived in the house right next door, and while we weren't best friends or anything, we definitely were neighborly acquaintances for many years. We'd make small talk in our yard on a regular basis and occasionally attend a holiday party at each other's home. We definitely knew each other's names and faces super well. Well, anyhow, one night my husband and I were driving home with our son. We got caught up in a conversation as we approached the yellow light pulling into our neighborhood. My husband had to make that last-minute call where you have to think quickly whether to slam on the brakes or try to coast through before it turns red. Since our baby was in the back seat and a car was right on us, he decided to try and make the yellow light is not to get rear-ended. Well, we didn't realize that a few cars back was a police officer, and because the light turned red as we passed under it, we saw the lights come on and got pulled over immediately. Oh. Well, lo and behold, as we watched the police officer exit the car, we realized it was the female cop who lived next door approaching our car.
Okay, this is good.
And this time, she had a flat top.
She shaved it real quick in the car.
It's part of her uniform. It just turns into a flat top.
My husband was like, okay, well, at least it's so-and-so from next door. Maybe we can explain and not get a ticket. Well, so we thought. She came up to the window with a flashlight in our faces, and even though she could clearly see it was us, who she knew well, she proceeded to act as if she had no idea who we were and ream us out as my husband politely apologized and explained why he decided to try to make the light. She yelled, "Do you not want your baby to be home alive?" Which just felt a little over the top. We both looked at each other and sheepishly replied, alive, ma'am. She continued to scold us for putting him and other drivers in danger and even ran his license, even though, again, she clearly knew it was her familiar friend from next door. We understood she was just doing her job, but it was so awkward how she carried on calling us sir and ma'am rather than by our names when she knows us so well. She wrote a ticket, reprimanded us again, let us go home without ever acknowledging that she knew us. So the especially awkward part was when we had to pull into our adjacent driveways only minutes later, and she walked into her house as we walked into ours at the same time, her staring straight ahead like we weren't the people she just pulled over. My husband, in a friendly voice with a wave, said, "Oh, hello there, neighbor," just to try and break the awkwardness with a laugh, but she ignored him and went into the house. Again, we took responsibility for what we did and understood that she needed to do her job, but we felt like she could have still done so while acknowledging she knew us. Like, hey, guys, I'm sorry, but I got to write you a ticket for running the light.
That's
something to that effect.
Bizarre, man.
That is bizarre.
That's it. When the uniform goes on, she's got a different personality.
Yeah, she said, talk about awkward. Anyway, we thought it was funny and wanted to share that, yeah, it can get very awkward when you live not only in the same area, but right next door to a cop who pulls you over.
Oh.
So, yeah, I'm sure for a story like that, that's one of the reasons why cops typically don't work in the town they live.
That's a great email.
Yeah, thought so too. Now
I was there. I see the female cop. She doesn't have the flat top, but she wants it.
She wants it.
I can hear it in that email.
Yeah.
She has everything about it except the haircut.
Well, I get if the cop's a little PO'd, you did something. All right, you throw the one comment out there in the beginning.
But you ran through a yellow light.
To continuously scold somebody like that, I think is a little over the line.
Well, it just shows me you've kind of lost all sense of yourself in that moment, and that's kind of horrifying.
Well, too, you know, if it was a yellow light, we've all done that. You do have to make a judgment call. If the road is wet, if there's... I get why you might have thought that process, and if you explain that to the officer, and they're still going to be a fucking dick about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good email.
And we had a make up or break up today with a girl that has a boyfriend, makes pretty good money, found out some things about his past, that he used to be a drug dealer. Now he does real estate, but he does real estate with the people he used to sell drugs to. And then somebody said, oh, no, if you have a felony, because he did a year in prison, got busted for dealing drugs, that if you have a felony, you can't get your license to do real estate in Florida. And Mike said, yeah, the real estate agent can get a license. He served 1 year, most likely on a misdemeanor charge. Okay, yeah, so I don't know. Maybe can you do a year for a misdemeanor? I don't know. So, yeah, that's the question. But, yeah, it's something to look into. I don't know if there's any kind of regulations on getting your real estate license in Florida based on that, and then maybe find out, you know, could he be lying? Because I guess that's the question now. Is he still actually dealing drugs? Because you said he has really good money.
To go back to the cop real quick, people are saying, well, she didn't want to show favoritism if the body cam was on. I understand all that. You don't have to show favoritism, but you also don't have to be a dick.
You should show that you're human.
Yeah.
And not a robot.
I mean, I get, do not show, because you're not supposed to show favoritism. That's not what we're saying.
Right.
But you don't have to be an asshole, a flat top asshole.
You just sound like a
crazy
robot
person.
Psychopath.
You're coming off like a crazy person. You don't have to show favoritism.
No, you give him the ticket still if you feel like you need to, but don't be a total weirdo about it.
Yeah, Aaron Beck said, just give the ticket. Yeah, just give the ticket.
Give the ticket, but say, hey, look, you know, you ran the red light. I saw it. I can't look the other way. It's my job, guys. You know, I still got to give you this ticket.
I don't even think you even have to say anything. You can be, hey, what's up, guys? You were speeding. I'm sorry. I got to give you a ticket. Here you go. You don't have to even make it with the lecture.
Yell at them about their baby with...
But I've had that too with officers where you made just a mistake. It's all you did was make a mistake. I told you about the one time I thought it was 75, but it was 65 on I-95, and I still thought I was going within the speed limit, and I had to get by. I passed a cop. And he pulled me over, and for 10 minutes, he fucking just laid into me. You never pass a cop. You show respect to the cop. You don't have your shoes on. I didn't have my shoes on.
Yeah,
but then I find out it's not illegal. You're allowed to drive without your shoes on. So he's yelling at me for shit that wasn't even illegal.
You should have said, it's Florida, bruh.
And guess what?
Yeah.
Motherfucker had A flat top. Well, even if I was wrong, you don't have to go on for 15 minutes of this and that and fuck you and blah, blah, blah.
Well, the flat top just says that you're a serious person.
And I get that.
I don't know of too many people that were jokey and pranksters that had flat tops.
You're
Can you
right.
name one?
Well, look
Yeah.
at Biff, even in Back to the Future. He tried to joke, but he was all gassed up, too.
Yeah. It is odd that hairstyle subscribes itself to a certain style of person.
Really? All the baseball players I played with flat tops were pricks.
You can correct a man without screaming and
Agreed.
belittling
Agreed.
him.
That's-
And I think that is truly the difference between a cop that gets it and a cop that's just awkward in his own skin.
Yeah.
I think when you're yelling and screaming at people in both the circumstances that we've heard here today, it's like your judgment's a little off in this. And maybe you've got other stuff that you're dealing with, and I get it. Being a cop is really hard.
Absolutely.
But you can't let whatever you just saw or dealt with affect this minor traffic violation and scream at this person. It's just misguided.
The email stuck with me.
Got this from Anna in Fort Lauderdale. She said, I want to comment about the ATS, the gal with the fiance relapsing. We had a story yesterday, and it was a girl that was with this guy, and they had met in rehab, had been together for a while. He kind of got it together. They started to make good money. They were taking vacations. Life was fantastic, and then he relapsed. And basically through it, he kept relapsing, and then the $20,000 in savings that they had built up and things like that, he wound up spending, I assume, on drugs, and her new car had dents all over it and all that kind of stuff. And so she was just like, do I stay in this? And we were just like, look, no. I mean, this guy, you need to insulate yourself and get away. You can't trust him. They had their finances tied together, and you just, when somebody's that destructive, you can't have a productive life with them. But she said Virginia had said something that was half correct. It is suggested to newcomers in the program not to date while in their first year after recovery, so the individual can focus on themselves and not a relationship. So yes, V was correct in that aspect. But the gal had said that her and the guy she met were both 1 year sober, so it sounds like they both finished their steps and their first year. So dating is okay at that point. Some people follow this strictly, some not so much. It sounds like the email gal was following suggestions of her sponsor. So she said, thanks for listening to me and my input. You guys have a fantastic day. So I guess that's...
And how do you let him spend 20 grand of your co-savings?
Yeah.
As soon as he spends 5 of it, I'm on high alert and I am moving money and I am protecting money. Like, if you've been equally contributing to that fund, you need to put the brakes on. And when you see it start depleting, you don't stick around for him to spend 20.
And also, too, I think a lot of times, whether there's drugs involved or not, if you are falling apart in your own personal life, I think it's tough for you to try to get involved with somebody else until you kind of do some work on yourself to where you get to a point where you can be there for someone else. A lot of people try to be there for someone else, but they can't even be there for themselves.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
And if you don't love yourself, you can't love anyone else.
Well, you try to fix the world, but you can't fix yourself, and that's...
I just noticed there's some people that are, for some reason, drawn to dysfunction.
Yeah, that's true.
And, she just might need to recognize that in herself and say, I got through the drug addiction part of problems that I had in my life, but I still have a problem being drawn to dysfunctional people or situations, and start to be able to recognize that situation and those people and say, I know what pain this is going to bring me. I got to recognize it and I got to turn around.
Unfortunately, too, I think a lot of people learn that growing up in childhood. And every person, you may have a family of, you have 5 kids in the family. They're all not going to absorb it identical. You know what I mean? I had 4 kids living, we grew up together. We all handle dysfunction differently, and it manifested in different ways. You just never know what's going to get into your psyche and crawl in there and cause damage later on in your life. You just don't know.
Yeah, true.
What the fuck do I know? Small town kid from Lake Park.
Let me see other emails we got here. Monica said, hey, longtime listener. And I was doing a deep dive watching all the old KBJ bits from back in the day. I had to remind you guys of when Jaybird and leaving did the chicken wax bit. I was literally dying laughing. Kevin was screaming and said, "Is my dong still on?"
Wax chicken.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was the best thing ever. I low-key feel like we got to see Kevin's O-face, and Jaybird actually is a pain freak. Love you guys. So excited for the many years to come with you guys.
Pain freak.
Yeah, that was wax chicken, where you would just spin the wheel and keep waxing body parts until one of you gave up and said no.
Yeah.
That's weird. Did somebody say wheel? It's a little broke down.
Yes.
It fits our show.
It works, but it is broke down.
Yeah. The old waxing chicken. Boy, what a young man's game that was.
Oh my gosh.
Bring it back. I'm in my prime. We're ready to rip and grip.
Who's going to go with you?
It's breaking the youngin. Suits. He's a little high in his...
Suits is at his taint wax. Yeah, we've already broken in Suits.
That's right.
Yeah, we waxed his taint.
Anytime we do anything mean to Denny's, I feel like we're hurting a kitten.
Yeah.
Newly born, by the way. The most innocent thing.
Got Ann here who said, I watched the old video of Will It Bite. So funny, I have to do this again. That was animals that we brought in here with Bush Wildlife, and we had to try to pet them or put our hand in their cage and then see if they would bite us.
And I don't give a shit what you say is in that. You could even say it's a newborn little kitty. And if you blindfold yourself and put it in a cage, it's still horrifying.
It is horrifying to put your hand in a cage and you don't know what's about to hit you.
You don't.
Because at Bush Wildlife, they got everything from hamsters to panthers.
Yeah, the other thing, too, is, animals, that we communicate with them in a way, but they ain't telling you everything in their head. How do we know that whatever we put in that cage doesn't want to fuck you up that day?
They like to bite when they feel threatened.
Yeah. I think it was it the pelican that was the biggest asshole?
Yeah.
That one always is a dick face.
The pelican came for you.
Yeah.
It did. He tried to bite my neck. Birds have never liked me.
Yeah, I think it was no joke. Noel said, missing the YouTube condensed show, the one with no music or no commercials. Yeah, we had done that, and just to let people know as a programming note, unfortunately, Thumbelina, she has left. She's on to other things now in her life, and we're just trying to readjust to make sure that we're getting everything done, because she did so many great things for the show for so long and so many years, was great with the video editing as a major part of our team. And so, when you have something like that happen, we have to fill in the blanks, and you start to realize, obviously she was a great value to us, and we knew that all along, but now we're having to. So it might take us a little bit as we got to figure out, okay, who's going to cover the great weight that she would fill every single day for the show.
I emailed her to be in the KVJ horror movie, but I didn't hear back from her. I wanted to get her in there.
Okay.
I wanted to murder her. Add to Bruce Fluckman's kill count.
Didn't Fluckman kill enough?
You're right.
So anyway, so that's what's going on with that. We will get back to that, and I'll hopefully get any shows that you did miss. We'll hopefully catch up and get those posted so that you don't miss anything in the condensed version. So it's not that. So give us a little patience, and if there's anything else that you notice that maybe, hey, you guys should do this, what's going on? Let us know, and I'll give you an answer as to what's happening with it. So we'll try to figure it out, get it all going. A couple other things on social media tip. I saw Facebook is now shutting down their face recognition system, and they're going to delete recognition of 1 billion people. They thought maybe that kind of stuff falling into the wrong hands or even their hands is a bad idea.
Yeah, the wrong hands. Facebook.
Yeah.
Us.
Right.
We're the evil empire.
Yeah, so now that they've got governments starting to crack down on them, and, Zuckerberg's got to go in front of Congress many times. They're like, okay, we need to start cleaning up our act.
Explain yourself, evil man.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's so funny, though, hearing Zuckerberg talk, he sounds like the least scariest person on the planet.
He comes off like a pussy, but that's how he's tricking
That's
you.
how he gets, guys, everything's going to be fine.
I want you to think I'm a giant pussy.
Yes, but I am taking over the world.
Yeah, I think we've done that. Rate the most dangerous people in the world that we know of, because you've got Zuckerberg with Facebook.
Musk-y.
You've got Bezos there. You've got Bill Gates, and then, you've got your
Elon Musk.
the richest man in the world now.
Musk is scary because he has all that money and he has fleets of ships. He has an empire.
He's
Starships.
an alien.
Yeah.
We truly believe he has come here to colonize.
Well, he and Bezos have got this space race going on.
I know.
So they're both trying to get into space. And
you're right. They're not just ships, they're starships. He has a fleet of them.
Yeah.
Say that out loud.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to do something to make himself come off as good. And I thought this is interesting.
He needs to.
The United Nations World Food Program has gone on record and said that billionaires like Elon Musk could save the world and its hunger issue by donating just $6 billion, which is a fraction of what they're worth. And they're right. What was it? A couple Mondays ago, Elon Musk made $36 billion or something like that in one day.
One day.
Yeah.
One day.
You know, $6 billion is 1/6 of that amount.
He could slice a piece off and not feel it.
So, for whatever reason, the United Nations World Food Program thinks that $6 billion would solve world hunger, which you've heard that all the time. We are the world. So, Elon Musk has now said he's willing to do it if the United Nations can show him exactly how they would do it and where the money would go. Saying, I don't want to give you $6 billion and you waste it and be like, oh, what do you know? We didn't actually solve world hunger.
Okay.
Show me you can do it and what you can do with the money, and I will give you $6 billion to solve world hunger.
I don't think that's an unreasonable thing.
I don't either.
I thought it was an amazing gesture, and I like that it's like going, okay, your play.
Yeah.
The ball is in your court.
I'm ready to do this.
You called us out. Like you're making the world hate rich people, uber rich people, saying they just do nothing with their wealth but do dumb things with it. I'm going to give you $6 billion to solve world hunger, which you said you could do. How do we do it?
And if they don't answer back, that's weird to me.
It's on them. And it's like, stop calling me out if you're not going to do it. You called me out. I'm calling you out saying, here's the money. Just show me how to do it.
Because could you imagine if legit someone stepped up, and I don't know how you would always make sure everyone's got food in their mouth, but to really knock down hunger across the globe and really to the point where people are getting meals, that changes the game. The biggest story on the planet.
Yeah, it would be. And I don't think it's realistic.
I don't either. I don't think you can do it with that small amount.
I don't think you can. And it's not even just setting up, whether it be ways that you would farm food and get clean water and things like that. I know that's part of the issue. You start winding up with wars and governments and groups that are in control of these areas, warlords and whatever, fighting, that it's not just a matter of finding food or growing the food. It's, yeah, you might do it, but then warlords come in and take over an area. Or you've got the Taliban, you know, that is in Afghanistan, and they've got their own issues, and you're not giving them funding. And I even saw how many people are going hungry in Afghanistan. So it's so complicated that, to me, it's like, nice try, UN, but I don't think it's that simple that, hey, just write us a $6 billion check, and hey, what do you know, world hunger's solved.
I think Elon Musk said, do it, bitch, to the UN.
He did do it.
And now the UN is going to have to put together a plan to do it, bitch.
Okay, KJ's calling us out now. LOL, this is such a distorted version of this story. How? I'm just trying to figure out how is it distorted, because I saw the same thing. I thought it was pretty cut and dry. They called him out. He said, all right, motherfuckers.
Show me the plan.
I got the money. Show me what to do.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, let us know. What else are we missing? That's the headline that I saw. I try to simplify all these stories for you, because if I drone on, people are like,
Kevin, you drone on.
You're talking about politics, you fuckface.
and then when I don't drone on, it's like,
Kevin, you
missed the
didn't give us
story.
any details.
Kevin, you're talking about sports. Kevin, you're talking about Corona.
half the
Kevin,
side it could be like you talk too much about it. The other side's like you're not talking enough about it.
hence the comment. Don't read the comments, baby.
We got a couple other interesting things here, talking about things odd in the world. Did you see that they have run out of names for hurricanes?
Yes, I did see that.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you run out of names?
Because, you know, you go through and they just had Wanda that had formed, the 21st named storm of the 2021 Atlantic hurricane season. So that means for the second time in 2 years, they've made it to the end of the regular list of names, because they start with A, then B, then C, and they go on. And then when you wind up after 21, then you got to go into the Greek letters. And they say last year there was a record 30 named storms. So I don't know if we'll get to that point, but there's a lot. So they say they got a supplemental list of names now that they're going to go with. So they will start over again. So you'll go back to A, Adria, Braylon, and Caridad. Is going to be the next ABC. So I guess they won't go to the Greek letters. They'll do that.
I mean, you'd think if, they run out of names, someone just goes, how about Hurricane Conrad? Have we done Conrad yet? Nope. All right, let's do it.
Yeah, they just try to go in progression, I guess is it. So we might get used to running through the alphabet more than once. That could happen if we keep getting more storms.
I mean, I'm okay with that. If we have,
Yeah, it's fine.
What a dumb problem.
Yeah.
Guys,
Kevin,
start over at A, guys.
Let's talk about world hunger again, Kevin.
We always like to talk about what we are watching currently. I know we did a little watch party conversation yesterday. TV-wise, I'm watching Succession now, which is out on, I believe that's HBO, is where that is. I get confused.
It's
okay,
on HBO, yep.
Okay. Because it's anymore, I got the little Xfinity thing. I just say the show and it comes up, so you don't even pay attention sometimes to the platform anymore.
Technology's making us really soft, because as soon as a battery's out or it doesn't talk anymore, like what? I have to really press a button? Fuck this, man.
Virginia was talking about you were watching You that was on Netflix.
I finished You, finally. 3 seasons. I finished all 3. They're currently in production on season 4, and I am so jazzed.
Okay.
I can't wait.
And what were you watching, Bird?
I was watching Succession. I was watching Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
On HBO. Yeah, those are the ones I'm watching, and a lot of murder specials.
And Engineer Key said he's been watching Sex Education. It's really well written and holds up season to season. Normally, I hate teenage relationship drama, but this actually makes sense and doesn't feel contrived. Okay. All right, there you go. Always love to hear what shows you're watching, because as soon as football season is over, that's it for me. First of all, I get kind of I just hate when football season's over. So I got to battle that wave of depression coming at me. Like, football's over. So I now like to load up. It does help ease that anxiety and that depression, saying, you know what, yeah, football's over, but I've got so many great shows I'm looking forward to. Like, for instance...
Like shows about football.
I actually do watch shows about football. But you know what? I stay away from it because it makes me depressed that it's over. I start watching shows about football in July and August to get me excited that football is going to be coming up.
Okay.
Yeah, Ozark, I think, is launching in January, so I'm pumped about that. That'll help me out of football season.
I bitched and bellyached all about season 2 about Ozark, and then I saw season 3 and how it ended. It was season 3, right?
Yeah, because they're going to do season 4.
The ending of season 3 was really good. I love an ending that's
yeah. Yeah, so it's good. But yeah, I would love to start having all these great shows dropping in January or February when football ends. So you're like going, yeah, it's now binge watching season.
I always feel like if it's a finale of a season, you better bring the heat with that ending. Make it kind of fucked up. Mm-hmm. It's always terrible when you're expecting a great ending on a series finale or a season finale, and they shit the bed and give you nothing.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that's how it ends?
Right. They seem to do that pretty well, though. They know they're going to keep something going. And the only thing that's worse is when they do an amazing cliffhanger and you can't wait to the next season and then they cancel it.
That's the worst. I know.
They've done that on several shows on me. And I'm like, oh, no. Like, you can't leave it like that.
Mindhunters had this great storyline about the BTK murderer.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I've heard many conflicting reports whether they're bringing it back, whether the actors are too much money.
Sometimes they don't know, because what happens is sometimes the actors, as they're waiting, and especially COVID messed everything up, they get signed to other shows. So now if you want to do another season, you got to wait till they're all free again to come back and do it. And that's the thing with actors. They're unemployed most of their life. So they're happy to get a job that's steady because they're like, oh, I got steady income. Otherwise, they're not making money.
They're not going to wait for you and your maybe when they got a definite yes.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can't blame them.
No, you can't. They're doing the right thing for them.
But what a way to live, man.
You guys nailed it. Turkey Beard Dan, Mindhunter's main actor, was too busy.
Yeah. Also, Narcos next season in Mexico is coming back. So
I got to give it another shot. I know. I tried.
It's not as good as the Pablo, I'll tell you. And I think if you hold it to that, you just have to say it's not as captivating as the Pablo was. The Pablo season was mind-blowing.
It was so good.
But to me, it's still good. It's still good, and again, I like watching Spanish shows. I'll delve more into Spanish shows after I get back into watching TV.
They did a good job because they made Pablo someone at times you kind of felt bad for. You kind of pulled for him.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I'm pulling for a monster.
You still need to do that Queen of the South that was on USA.
I know, you keep telling me. I just never get enough time, but maybe one of these days. The Queen, for whatever reason, is not. I can't get her charged into it, so I'll probably have to watch that by myself.
She herself is the Queen of the South.
No, I don't.
Does she not want any competition? She doesn't want to give this bitch credit?
I don't know. I think, she because she'll watch the shows. Typically, I watch mostly Spanish shows. So just trying to hear Spanish and all that. So that's typically what we do. And I think that was kind of one of the knocks on it was that we've seen a lot of drug stuff from watching all Spanish shows. And she's like, if I want to watch a show, I'll watch it in Spanish. So, and it's done in English, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It's got it's got some Spanish in it though.
Okay.
So when you have people that are speaking Spanish, there are English subtitles. There's not any kind of overdubbing BS that ruins it like Squid Game tried to do.
Okay.
They speak the Spanish and then they just show you the subtitles in English.
Okay.
But there are parts of it that it's all Spanish speaking.
Dang. Cacti88 in the chat room said, Queen of the South, 2 thumbs down, bad acting. What the fuck, Virginia? Shut up. No, they didn't see that last part. The first part was what they said. Was it bad acting?
There was parts of it that were cheesy.
Okay.
I will definitely give you that. But there were parts of it that were fantastic, and I think the fantastic parts for me in the end outweighed the cheesy silliness.
Okay. All right. Balanced out.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see here. We got another email again here from Tiffany. Great to hear from her. She was on Denny's Knows When You're High on Friday. She got engaged under the Brooklyn Bridge over the weekend, and she kind of gave a list of things to do, where to eat, all that kind of stuff. From Washington Square Park to Central Park and, all those kind of places that
She
are
has
good.
a list for you of New York pizza.
I mean, I love a pizza list.
That's important.
Yeah, good places. So, yeah, that's the cool thing. There's so many awesome options. But she also had said, too, I want to shed light. My mom's battling stage 4 colon cancer. And I've emailed before, not sure if you got him, but she's only 52, had no symptoms, had a colonoscopy scheduled at the beginning of the pandemic that was canceled due to COVID. Like a lot of people, that's on the rise because a lot of people did put that off. So, they dropped the age to 45. So that note, my wife is about ready to get her colonoscopy, I think the week of Thanksgiving. And so I'm like, I know I need to do that. I think I'm going to get into January and then I'm going to go, I know I need to get it done. I'm past, I'm under 50, but I'm past 45, so I'm going to go do it. So
I know. I need to do it, too. Can we just go together, all three of us?
KVJ, do one of the Groupons. Yeah, I love
KVJ, butt Groupon.
It'll be an ass adventure.
So, yeah, going to do that. But that is a good note for anybody that is approaching that age. They have dropped it now to do it at 45, not 50.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. I appreciate all your emails and your feedback.
We want to thank our sponsor, Atoll Vodka.
They are good, man.
Yeah, it
They
is.
are good. It's already infused. The vodka is infused with crisp citrus and botanical flavors.
Yeah, my bar's all stocked up with that because they're doing the podcast with us, and I am loving this deal.
If you want to grab yourself some, Singer Island Liquors has it.
Okay.
And also Guanabanas and Sailfish Marina.
Very nice. It's Atoll.
Yes, it is.
I assume you probably ordered online as well?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. If you want to get it, try it out. It is all KBJ approved. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.